We are Team Soulja Boy. My name's Hannah, and we heard the water sound and immediately thought of displacement. And to us, displacement brings home because gentrification is happening in neighborhoods all around New York City. You have residents who have been there for 3 decades, interacting, or sometimes more often not interacting, with newcomers who are also looking for a positive community to join. You also have larger chains pushing out smaller businesses and children who live on the same street who don't go to the same school. So we saw a real opportunity here to take children as the catalyst to get these people talking to each other and build a sense of community and community support. Enter Neighbor Jam, which is an ongoing series of community events. Picture a block party or a small business vendor fair, but specially designed with activities that get children to talk to each other, because in our field research we found parents talk when their kids are talking and they wouldn't have talked otherwise. So that's the goal, and my teammates here will walk you through the touch points.
To help enable this to actually happen, there's a website that is also mobilely optimized, because most people do have cell phones, smartphones. So there's one aspect is social media. So really get out in the social media, different channels to reach out to a broader audience. Our mission, so really being plain Jane about it, explain the fact that we want to bring people together, as well as to spark a sort of excitement around it. So you could crowdsource the next theme about the possible next event, as well as the actual event. And it goes into the details around it. And we also realize the fact is some people don't have access to smartphones or computers, but most of the children in their schools do. So they have an optimized printout that has a lot of the details about it.
So this is what you would bring home for those who don't have access to the computer. Maybe there's a language barrier, which we would have this printout available in different languages, so you can bring it home. It would have all the event info on it. This way, you're not just coming home and saying, I want to go to this event, and you have no idea what it's all about. Here it is. It would outline, every location where it would be, and then here at the bottom, it would have to learn more. You can text info into JAM, 2 M's. This way, you can follow any updates, anything like that, straight onto your phone for those who don't have the access at home.
It's also important for us to kind of create an incentive for people to keep coming back over and over again, because the point is to create lasting relationships, not just a one-time event. So we came up with the idea of a passbook for children to encourage them, because kids like to collect things, like to feel ownership over something. So they have a little passbook where they could collect stamps for various activities. Each month would have a monthly theme, so it would be an activity like completing the activity or making a new friend. They would get stamps. There would also be a code that you could upload onto the website. You could track your progress, and there would be prizes if you hit certain milestones or for the leader of a certain month.
One of our sample activities would be a scavenger hunt. We believe that this would encourage kids to not only play and talk to one another, but also problem solve, and would also give the space to facilitate parents to start forming relationships, talking, and we can also include a way to incorporate local vendors into this to really help bring the community together.
Awesome.
Are you good? That's about it?
Cool. I think this is really interesting. I was totally shocked that you heard that splash and you went straight to displacement, but it seems really clear for you guys, so that's cool. I love the part at the beginning where you're crowdsourcing the theme of the event, and I think it could be interesting if you were to take this further to kind of build more of that co-design approach into the entire process. So every step of the way, maybe people can be kind of contributing their ideas and helping to shape what this thing is, so that it really does feel like it's like of the community. And I think you talked a little bit about that in some of the other steps, but I think it could kind of be bolstered a little bit more. And then lastly, I would love to see role play of some of the events. If you were thinking about interesting ways to prototype that go beyond the physical, actually letting us see what it's like to be at this thing, or see how the scavenger hunt would bring the kids together and then the parents together, and maybe start to shape the discussion around gentrification.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought this was really cool, mainly because my neighborhood is kind of going through this process right now, so I feel like I'm living that when I'm in my apartment and walking around, I'm seeing it, just the area changing and gentrification. So I thought one point that I really liked is the handout that you're able to bring home. It kind of gives that child a sense of ownership and something to present to their family if they don't have smartphones. And it's great that you guys thought about that. Just with families being in different places that may not have access to those types of things. I also liked your example of the scavenger hunt, mainly because that gets parents involved too. And a child is really not doing that on their own. They're walking around with their families and they're really able to interact. So I'd be interested to see what other events would come from this, what all you guys have in mind. And then, like you mentioned, also having people learning with this whole product and making their own suggestions and it being more collaborative. But I think this is a really cool idea.
Thank you.